Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Excited to share with you guys today more LED lights. So this is kind of a collaborative video here. We're going to be showcasing 6 products, and maybe to give you guys some inspiration on, maybe using these around your home, whether it be for the holidays or for a party. I love LED. I laugh at myself every time I do these videos because it's just like I have LED lights all over the place, and they've come down so much in price. I remember back in the day, I know you're like, all right, well, here comes the story. Well, back in the day, I remember like the cool mood lighting you could get for your, bedroom or your home was like kind of the incandescent kind of purple fake black light bulbs that came out around Halloween, right? And I remember having like 2, actually that lamp right there, I used to have one of those bulbs in there. I remember being a young guy, 19, 20, living up at my folks' house, and good times, carefree times. Having those lights on, my buddies come over, chicks come over, that kind of stuff, just young carefree days, but always had to have that mood lighting, But nowadays, it's so cool because all this stuff is so cheap. Those bulbs were, pretty terrible. They didn't last that long. Now you can really set the mood with whatever you want, right? With all these different colors. So this is pretty cool. I get excited whenever I have stuff like this because there's always somewhere I can use stuff like this around the house and in the backyard, right? So let's first start off with the first item they sent me. Now I say they, I don't know this company's name. The company didn't have a store link. I've emailed them for their Amazon store name, which I will add to the description and pin it to the top of the comment section. So if you want to pick up any of these, you can do it right through those links. But the first one is this is going to be kind of a nonchalant video, like most of my videos, but these are curtain lights. So these are a USB plug, and let me go ahead and plug these in here. I should have brought my, where is it? I don't have it. Oh. Let me plug these suckers in. Let me get a USB extension here real quick, guys. I actually made this video the other day, and I accidentally deleted my content, so way to go there, right? So let me do it like this. It does come with the remote on the curtain lights, and these are basically exactly, what they sound like. They're curtain lights, and they have a little kind of white plastic hook, and you can hang these just as you would a curtain. So these are kind of cool if you want to add these around a pergola. They don't always have to be for, holiday times. You can use them whenever you want. Nice thing about warm white LEDs. They don't draw a lot, and they give a nice glow, whether you have a business, restaurant, whatever. So, and I like the fact that they're USB, they have a USB plug, and you have your controller right on there. So you just press the button and change, I believe it has 7 different modes. So kind of a twinkle, kind of like a fade, And what's nice about these is that they're on a really thin kind of, looks like this one's kind of like an encased wire. It looks like it's got some plastic around it. Some of the other ones are just like more of a copper kind of wire. But, this is great. You can wrap these around whatever you want. But, its main purpose to hang with is like a string light, like a curtain light. So, kind of cool. I'm sure I'll find a use for these. And let me just disconnect this here, and we'll move on to the next one. I do like the fact they gave the remote too, so you can cycle through that. I recommend, though, if you like LED lights like I do, I have, all these different things. With the USB, they're 12 volt ready. So you can use these in a car, you can use these in a computer, plug them into any USB port, or a power adapter, of course. The issue that I have with these remotes is a lot of them use the same remote. So I must have 50 of these things around the house with all the different things I got. And I forget what goes to what because they're not all universal. Go to Harbor Freight, get yourself a cheap $15 engraver, and engrave them right in the back what the remote's for. It makes it a lot easier. Trust me, you'll thank me for it if you have a lot of lights around your house with these similar remotes. So it makes it really easy. Worth it, It's a great little tool. Even debit cards, like I have several different accounts, and my debit cards all use the same card. So I don't know, I don't know what the card number is. So in the past, I know it's off subject, but I'd write like with a magic marker or a permanent marker. It fades off, so I engraved right in the card, smear a little marker over the top, and wipe it clean, and now you have kind of an engraved label on it. So you can put a sticker on it too, but that works for me. Next one here is pretty cool. I've seen stuff like these before. These are an RGB globe light. And these are solar. So a lot of the lights they send me are solar powered. And what I like about that, there are areas in my backyard where you know, I just don't want to go and run a line and put in a box and run, you know, 110 volts out to some like Christmas lights or string lights. There's areas where I have done that, but there's other areas where I don't want to do that. Solar is great. So this comes with the ground spike. I know it's in the plastic bag here, and I don't want to make too big of a mess here. I got to put all this stuff back away. But you do get the ground spike, and you get these cool like globe string lights. Super adorable. Like they feel solid. They're not like kind of the ones with the little globe that's gonna fall off. I wish I could demonstrate these, but I don't think we're gonna get any juice out of them. Yeah, well, now they're gonna flicker because I need to leave these things outside. I think I'll do that today. Got some nice sun out there. Anyway, nice large solar panel, and these do come with the remote, the ground spike. And these are RGB. So what's cool about them, in the past I've had lights that were, let me just get rid of this here. I've had lights like this that I've collaborated with different companies on, and they were just like multicolor. And you know, that's nice, it's very festive, but you know, I don't really want Christmas lights during like the summertime in my backyard, unless they're like a nice warm white or a solid color. With these, you can set them to a solid color. Great, huge solar panel. Just keep in mind, a lot of these devices, though, if you're going to spend your hard-earned money on this stuff, you know, it's different for me because this is a collaboration. But I have found that because of the price point on these is so good, that try to mount this somewhere where you're going to somewhat have it maybe protected, maybe in an overhang where it can still get sunlight but be protected from the elements. I've found that these things, although they do say they're water resistant or waterproof, a lot of times they do develop leaks. A good thing to do if you're really concerned with it is just, you know, paint some clear nail polish around the seams, or you can mask it and spray it with some clear coat. You might even be able to, I don't know, I haven't tried this, but you might be able to even wrap like a saran wrap around it and just seal it up a little bit. Again, I've had ones that haven't leaked at all, other ones have, so I just, you know, water is going to destroy them. It gets inside, it rusts, and then you got to throw them away. So just kind of keep that in mind. These are going to be pretty fun. I'll definitely find a spot for those in the backyard. Next product they sent me, these are kind of cool. Unfortunately, a little disappointed with a couple of these because the batteries are dead. And these are brand new. So this is a 16-pack. This is a box. But these are bottle LEDs. So you got a nice short LED string light, basically. You probably have about 10 LEDs. Let me crack one of these open, and we'll put it to the test and see if this actually works. It does come with the tab. You pull that out. It's supposed to conserve the battery when that's in, and it works. So nice warm white LED. I'm kind of thinking that some of the other ones in this box are cool white, even though they say gold, but not really sure. But what you do is you just, you know, put these in a bottle. I've seen these in restaurants. I'm sure they make ones that are rechargeable, where you can take them out and just charge them up at the end of, you know, the workday or whatever, or the end of your business hours. But these are cool. The only downside I'd say to these, they look great. Take like some of those great wine bottles or grape bottles you're gonna get if you are a drinker. And I used to, you know, drink. I used to save a lot of the hard alcohol bottles because they're pretty cool and they look nice in your bar, wet bar, dry bar. So I would decorate a little bit with these. It's very like Italian restaurant. It's very, I don't know, it's mood lighting, right? And so the only downside to these is that the batteries, you know, these are kind of expensive batteries. And when I say expensive, they're not going to break the bank. But when you have a bunch of these, I don't know how long these are going to last. Granted, you do have the on-off switch, but you know, you will have to replace the batteries eventually, and it just sucks you have to go get the button batteries, and this probably takes about 3 of them. I wish they would just make something like this with a AAA. You know, a AAA is readily available, they're super cheap, and if you just have something that's a AAA, it would be a much better product. So, company, you know, design change. You know, the little button batteries are kind of a deal breaker for me, but nonetheless, still very cool. Put these in a bottle, and they look awesome. So that's pretty cool. And I wish I had price points for you guys, but I don't because they didn't send me the link to the store. So sometimes there's a little bit of a delay in getting that stuff. Not every company gets back to me, you know, same day like I do, but I'm sure I'll have a link in there by the time you guys watch the video. So next one is a set of RGB encased rope lights, and these are solar as well. Let me see if we get any juice here. Nah, I can't turn these on as well. I believe these are the multicolor versions. Nightlight new, it says. These, I just don't know what color they are, but I believe they are, I believe that these are, let me just see something here. I believe these might even be the warm white ones, but I can't really show you those. But 48 feet is what I think these are, and pretty cool. You can wrap these. I've used these in the backyard, again, in those areas where I can get sunlight, but I don't want to run a power line. Great around any source of water. You know, there's National Electrical Code. There's a certain distance, certain height you need to have anything electrical around water. So you have a pool or hot tub. Something like this is perfect around a hot tub because there's no risk of electric shock, to the best of my knowledge. So you don't have to worry about that. So that's pretty cool. We'll jump right to the next one here. Next one here, what are these? These are fairy string lights. See what these are. So these are pretty cool. So this is a little bit of a design change. I have, again, stuff like this in the backyard as well. These have a 3 AA battery case, and normally these would be used for outside. These are specifically labeled as indoor lights. So what they've done is they've added a USB port, which is cool because there are areas, again, that I want to, I've had some of these around in the warm white around some coffee end tables or like my wine bar, just to give a little bit of extra ambiance light. They're cool because they're very small. You don't notice they're there until you turn them on. But again, battery sucks. Even if you don't use them, they're still a draw. So with this, they've designed it where you could just plug it in now. And I'll show you. This is pretty cool. I can't wait to use these. These are the ones I'm most excited about. So let's plug these into USB. And what's cool about these is now these are RGB. So they give you the remote control somewhere in here. There it is. RGB, same style remote, right? And you could change them just to white. Only downside of white is just going to be a cool white. It layers the 3 colors. To get white, it doesn't have that warm white, but in a situation where you're not really too concerned with that, for me, blue. I'm going to put some of these like around the trees downstairs, change them up to green, red. Pretty cool. You can add some ambiance and ambient lighting. Another great thing with something like this, if you have like my parents have an old school china cabinet where it just has the fluorescent LEDs behind the glass. Those are great. They're not very, power conscious on those, or they're not very power conservative, right? If I'm saying that right. But these, you can add a set of these in there, and now you have some, blue mood lighting, green mood lighting. Not really my parents' style, but you get it. You don't have to just wrap these around stuff. You know what I mean? You can use these for a lot of different purposes. You have brightness. I think 3 levels of brightness. You can dim them down. 1, 2, 3. Looks like 4. And again, change out the colors. I think if you're going to try to get a warm white color in these, I found that with these types of LED lights that layer the colors, use the orange, and it gets you pretty close to orange, or like that one's more green, but gets you pretty close to like a warm white LED, right? So pretty cool. Again, wish I had a price for you, but I don't. So nothing I can do there until I get that link. So let me go ahead and put those over here. And then the final product, so let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Final product here, let's see what this one is. So this is, again, going to get a lot of use. I purchased these in the past. Another set, I'm not going to unwrap them because these are solar. You get the ground spike, the solar panel, and you get the kind of a copper wire with, I think this is about 48 feet, a whole bunch of micro LEDs. These are great because a lot of solar lights out there. We've all driven around town and seen them. If you don't have really bright sunlight, they don't get a lot of charge and they don't last very long. I have a few lights that I got from Harbor Freight around the front of my my kind of front bed there. Only one works, and once they lose that ability to charge up and that battery goes, they're garbage. You might as well throw them away. It's not worth it, and a lot of times, to replace the battery, because the batteries are more than the things cost. Something like this is great because these don't draw much. So whatever you're going to get as far as energy stored from the solar panel and its built-in battery pack, they last a really long time. I mean, I can almost get through. Again, granted, it's going to depend on how much sun you get them. They don't work great on indirect light. Other solar panels do. But for me, I have a few planters out front. Don't want to run an extension cord across the walk. I pop one of these in the planter box and wrap these around the tree, and they're fantastic. Only downside, you spray your plants or trees with deer repellent if you live in an area with deer, because you don't want them chomping through this and then destroy the light. So these are pretty awesome. So I've added some of these to my parents have a nice dogwood out front, added some of those around the trunk. They look great, and as a homeowner, whether you own a home or an apartment or wherever you may live, it's always nice to have your own little space. If you're in an apartment, maybe you don't have, maybe you have a little balcony, and maybe you don't have, you know, a power outlet out there. This is a great alternative. So you can still get that nice, romantic, fun atmosphere, and where you can, you know, home is your sanctuary, right? No matter what, no matter where you call home, you want it to feel comfortable and feel safe and relaxed there. And stuff like this just adds to the whole experience. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this gave you a little bit of inspiration. I'm sorry I didn't like put this up and show you outside. You know, when I do these videos, I always do them for my home office. There's an amount of time I'm willing to spend on each video, and it's just easier for me to tell you about the product and maybe give you guys some ideas. We can find inspiration all over the internet for where you might use this stuff. Just a quick Google search, Pinterest, you know, Instagram, if we get past all the people flexing and showing off their, you know, showing off their bodies. There's a lot of that on there. But you can find the stuff that's home related on those different platforms. And you know, it's a great little way to, you know, again, you know, make your home yours, customize it, and you know, anything you customize an expression of your own self, your own taste, your own personality. So anyway, guys, that's it. I want to thank Company X for sending me this great product. These are going to be pretty fun here. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask. I'll always try to help you guys out. Remember, if you like the content, do subscribe. As always, guys, have a good day. Be kind to one another and take care.